Hello, everybody, and welcome to Luna
Hi.
and the Druid. And today we're gonna talk about a topic that I really, really, really love, and you too, I think, Luna.
Well, let's say what it is, maybe.
Yeah,
So others could decide if that's a topic they love to talk about as well.
yeah,
An interesting one, a very useful to know.
absolutely. Yeah. So we're talking about spirit guides, our unseen helpers, a journey with Luna and the Druid. Our unseen helpers. Okay, last week we talked about anxiety was unseen where it came from, but it showed itself in the bodies. But I think the spirit guides work way more quiet and work way more in the background. What's your scope on that?
They usually work up above us and behind us, but they send us signs through all sorts of ways, and we're going to talk about that during next few episodes, because during our briefing we quickly decided it's not going to fit in one episode. So here we go, another series of episodes where we get a topic and we talk about it from many aspects and many angles. Today there will be a very special episode because we're going to be using a lot of cards today. Yay! I'm looking
Absolutely.
forward.
Yeah. So it's what spirit guides. So if you ever felt a feeling um, of a comforting presence when you were alone, or saw repeating numbers or kind of synchronicities in your life, um, experienced feeling that guided you against logic, that's probably because you are not alone. There is someone watching over you. Someone watching you, or there is even someone trying to communicate with you. And that's, dear viewers and Luna, that's what we call our spirit guides. The ones that we don't see, that we might not even always be aware of, but um, yeah, that are still there, and we might have to discover them.
Yes.
So,
Across time and culture, humans have known that we walked on thin alleys. Ancient shamans spoke with spirits of the animals. Wise women whispered to their angels, and indigenous elders honored ancestors. And yes, there is a lot of ancient cultures, beliefs, modern, new age beliefs, and they seem, even though they're using different labels, different ways of connecting, seem to connect to some higher guidance, higher spirit, higher realm, perhaps. Some sort of guides we seek some wisdom from.
yeah. Yeah, then today let's just give a short overview of the topics we're gonna treat. So today, especially, what are spirit guides? What are they? How do we see them? What kind of structure or what kind of manifestation are they? So, in general, the spirit guides are point one: benevolent, non-physical beings. They are invisible. They might be non-physical. They offer protection, clarity, and guidance. So that comes with the benevolent part. So they're good and they're helpful. They support your spiritual growth. They support the challenges, but help you overcome them as well. They are wise mentors from beyond the veil, and they're operating from unconditional love. Unconditional love, yes. So benevolent, non-physical beings. A non-physical being is a being we can't perceive with our physical senses, and I'm not completely on board with that because people like us who are either clairvoyant or clairaudient, who have a certain clair, receive messages from their spirit guides through this clair. I have developed over the last years. I had the clairvoyance all the time, all my life, but way stronger is in my right ear the clairaudient part. So they're non-physical, but still, there is a sense that I perceive my messages from. How's that for you, Luna?
Well, to me, I'm not going to even go into senses because that would take way too long time. Psychic senses. To me, spirit guides are the ones who have been, and I've been following them, and I've been aware of their presence and magical presence all my life. I remember my mom told me a story when she was little. She got in trouble and she walked on a rope. So she was basically hanging on her throat like this, and it was too high. She couldn't get to the floor with her toes. So obviously she started to panic, thinking she's going to die. And then she said, I heard the voice of an angel. I saw an angel who just said, just relax, grab the rope and free yourself. And then the angel, she asked, who are you? And the angel said, I'm your guardian angel. So we've always been surrounded by beautiful, magical creatures helping us out.
Yeah, and the angelic realm, of course, we see a lot in our traditional religions, like the religions here in Ireland, the religions in Polish. Most European countries have a big Roman Catholic and biblical Christian background, and angels originate from that background. And guardian angels, that's actually one of the guises that they come from, and they offer protection, clarity, and guidance. And they sometimes take you from like you said, like your mother said, a very dangerous situation into safety again, and back into safety again. I have a similar experience about 20 years ago. I made a long solo trip into the north of Norway in my old car. And I think I must have lost consciousness behind the steering wheel, and I heard a loud noise. And what happened? I touched a car, but not really. The mirrors of two passing cars bumped into each other. So if either of these cars would have been like 15 or 20 centimeters more to their left, they would have collapsed. There would have been a frontal collision. And like your mother said, I had that moment an idea that there was some spirit, some angel, some benevolent, some wonderful creature that took me away from the gates of dying, the gates of a very bad car accident. Yeah.
Yes, well, the way I see angels, guardian angels, are personal spiritual bodyguards. They know our soul contract. Bear with me, Karma is going a little bit crazy today. Perhaps I could sort this out somehow. In the meantime, I would love to say hello to all people who are commenting here today, saying hello to each other. So lovely to have you guys. I'm glad actually she distracted us, because I really missed that part of saying hello to you. I'm so happy to see you guys.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes, spirits, guardian angels, but we also have archangels, which are kind of like bosses for these guardian angels, higher hierarchy, and those are very special type of angels who can be everywhere at once, because guardian angels are our personal beings. They serve only for us. They are more close to us, but the archangels have a power to be everywhere and have more powers. they're like universal forces. And I connect personally with Archangel Michael, who's the Archangel of protection. Obviously, healing angel, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Gabriel enhances communication. So it's good to connect to him, her, because this is a very interesting, actually, angel. Perhaps we could go one time that road and talk about archangels deeper. Yes, anyway, two different realms of angels, which are one of the group of spirit guardian angels.
Yeah. So that these are our protectors. Then we have the ones that bring clarity and guidance. I had recently an inner conflict. I spoke to one of my spirit guides, and I got a clear answer on how to proceed there. And that's and the good thing that I have, because I now have a personal guide which I can connect with, and which I can always ask information to. I just close my eyes, think of them, ask the question, and nearly in an instant it comes. And sometimes it comes a bit slower. Then I do a little pathway spell, a pathway prayer, you could say, that gets me to that space where I can receive the messages. But that's easier and easier. Do you use it as something similar to connect to your guides?
Well, I use many tools, and one of my favorite tools is my cards.
Of course.
When we had a briefing today with Jan about what we're going to talk about, Jan asked me, Luna, have you got any decks of cards where you perhaps could connect with one of the groups? And I looked at him saying, this is the over 100 decks. This is the library. So I brought a lot of decks today. So I'm not going to keep them just by myself, and I'm going to share with them.
Okay, perfect.
How about I pull a card? Actually, I have two decks which I couldn't choose from, so I'll pull a card and we can do pick a card. What higher divine energy is protecting you and uplifting you at this time? So this card will reveal forces around you. What kind of angelic protection is around you? What it is working on? And this one straight from the deck.
I have a question from Kira. Just a second. Can she use her own deck when we start? And I would say, of course, bring your own cards as well.
I love that question. Absolutely. Make it fun for yourself. You can use any type of cards you have. Oracle, tarot. Use this time when you're sitting with us and take the guidance, the questions, the spread. We put a lot of love and passion to create and during those episodes. So absolutely use the cards. We would love you to join us in that.
So, what do we have?
So, pick a card. There is a bit of glare. Yes, thank you. So this is card number 1, and this is card number 2. So I'll start with cards number 1. If you chose this one, nurture. Wow, Archangel Gabriel, as a nurture, as you nurture a child, your nature, your as you, one more time, and in English, as you nurture a child, you nurture your own inner child. Both activities are important for you right now. And it's amazing because I work a lot with an inner child, and this has been coming up in lives of many people recently, especially within my clients. So I think this is my speciality by now, the working with inner child. I'll show you the card. It's a beautiful picture of angels surrounding child. So this is that protection which I talked about, angels being around us, but also the need of working on your emotions of the little one. Perhaps I could share a meditation, which I actually created recently. I'll put the link in the description box, or I'll just share it in the post as well. So you could tap into that inner child if you chose those cards, and in general. If you chose comfort number 2, this is an interesting one because we have parents trying to get rid of the glare.
Yep.
The divine truth is that your parents eternally love you to the best of their ability. The angels are helping you heal from any pain associated with your mother or father. Interesting that the time around family and inner child comes up with both cards. But this is the message. Angels and archangels wanted to pass.
Okay, wonderful. Well, for this series, for this round, I also got a card here. I pulled Beyond the Mind from the Lemurian Beyond Lemuria deck. Beyond Lemuria, Beyond the Mind. Take a step outside your mind-based concerns or limitations. Looking at things in an overly logical way will hinder you and obstruct access to your superpowers. You may be transfixed by a past experience. The past may be running you and making your mind spin so you cannot see what's really in front of you. Consider what your heart and your gut are telling you. Step back and clear your mind. Meditate in your own way. Contemplate what the situation at hand would feel like if you released all fears and worries. Are these concerns even yours?
Nice.
That's
I
probably
just want to point out that today something really amazing and rare is happening. Jan is using an oracle instead of a tough deck. That's unusual. And for those who are asking to pull cards for them, where the way it works is it's a pick a card. So you choose your message between the two of them. Today we are not picking cards for personal readings, but from time to time we do that. So make sure to push that notification button to not miss any next episode where we're going to do it. Moving on to another group of spiritual and spirit guides. Yeah, and that's the part where you're jumping in.
Oh yes, yes. I'm answering a question in the chat. The deck I was using is Beyond Lemuria, and then I put it in the check in the post. This is the box. Beyond Lemuria, a wonderful, interesting deck. But I'm on. Yes, you're right. I'm on. The next one.
We talked about angels.
We talk about angels. Yeah, the angel of guidance.
Yes.
Or the angel of spiritual growth. Where shall we look at?
Sorry, I'm not sure what you're asking me. Okay, we were talking about angels, so perhaps we could jump into the next group. For example, ancestors.
Yeah.
Ancestors, it's another group of spiritual guides and energies which we connect with, and we can connect. Bear with me. I lost myself. I lost somewhere the vision. And
Okay, no worries. I'll take that over. What happens a lot when I do readings with people, I always usually a lot of times spirit guides come up in the readings that I do, and many times it is it's an ancestor, it's a parent or a grandparent or even someone from the family tree, uncles or brothers and sisters or twin brothers and sisters. And what all these people have in common, when I have a card, I see a mother did that. Oh yes, my mother, she passed away, this or that. Or recently this weekend I had someone who lost her twin brother and they were still in contact. And that always reminds me of when my own mother died that's nearly 4 years ago, that for months I reached for the phone. I think, okay, the phone doesn't work with mom anymore, and I just thought about her and connected to her. So for many people, a very easy and handy way to connect to spirit guides is to call on the ancestors. And what I always say, when you have such a connection, it's like a friendship. When you have a connection, when you have this friendship, maintain it, enjoy it, maintain it. So occasionally think of them. When you think of them, they receive, they hear that, they hear you, they feel you, they notice you're thinking of them, and they will help you um, with advice or with beneficial circumstances in your life, little manipulations of in the real world where you make progress, not at the cost of others, but just benevolent for you, good for you, the things that work for you, and that's ancestral. Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, our bloodline is more just than DNA. It's a source of information. It's a river of energy, memory, power, memories, but also something very powerful and strong, which is the stories our ancestors carry, the choices, wounds, blessings, all the wisdom and knowledge, the spiritual knowledge. So it is important to connect with them and connect through with that river of information. And the river is emotion. So all that information is often stored as emotion in the body as well. But if that's something is what resonates with you, I encourage you to watch the video and the live from last week when we talked about how to release some things from the body a little bit while we were talking about anxiety. But anyway, some spiritual ancestors will act as protectors. They will help us to shield and keep us safe. Some of them will be teachers, and some other ones will be healers on our journey. Yeah. I am actually lucky enough to have my mom, who passed away many years ago, as my spirit guide. And she's also a spirit guide of my soul group. So this is wonderful to have her as a guide. She was a beautiful guardian angel on earth, and now she's with me in spirit doing that role. Would you like to add anything to this topic before I pull the cards?
One thing I think is important, but we get to these guides later. That I've had a session of teaching about ancestors from Ben Stimson, a writer. He wrote a book about ancestors, and he says, always remember that ancestry is not only your bloodline, but it's also your spiritual bloodline. And so there we have already the connection to the angels, for instance, but also to, for instance, I read that Kira, I think it was, said, I'm very much connected to Irish mythology and stuff. So if you're into mythology, you might find your spirit guides there. I have personal connection with Lou of the Long Arm. Why? Lou of the Long Arm is a jack of all trades, and he inspires me to embrace my jack of all trades. And a master, a jack of all trades and a master of none, they say, well, you can be a master in many trades. And that's what the part that I call Lou, the spirit guide, means for me. And when he came to the Hill of Tara and he was rejected because for every trade that he had, there was someone there. There was a carpenter, there was a shoemaker, there was someone who could heal horses, there was someone who could build and this and this and that. And then finally he said, but do you have one man in your castle? Because they would only allow people in the castle of the king before he became king. that brought something that nobody had. And finally he said, is there someone here in this castle that has all the skills that I have? And then the guardian of the castle says, no, they're not there. So I have to let you in now. And so that's how you can find your spirits from your lineage, the ones that are not necessarily bloodline. If you go deep enough, the whole world population is your bloodline. So there you have it already. It could be historical people or whatever people who have existed, and you feel connected to them as ancestors. Most likely, they're going to help you as a spirit guide.
Working with them means reclaiming lost parts of ourselves and healing. Actually, you healing yourself, you send a ripple to the ancestral generations to heal that as well. So practices include ancestors' altar, lighting candles for them. That's often a practice popular in churches as well. Speaking their names out loud, asking them to help you, how to guide and to lead you as well.
So shall we do some cards for our ancestors? Some cards?
Yes.
You thought I'd never ask, did you?
So what message of healing comes from your lineage and your ancestors? Here we have, again, 2 cards. So pick a card. This time I'm using the same deck. Card number 1 is here. Card number 2 is here. So I'm not sure which I choose. This one is probably 1. I'll start with this one. Got confused with the numbers. Explore your creative side. This is a beautiful card. This one won't have a glare. It's a beautiful, beautiful card here. It says visualize, paint, and record. So whatever is your passion, whatever you do, make sure to do it. And while you're doing, set the camera to get some content. Perhaps you'll use it for something else. But the key is, this is an extra message for someone which came just from the rounds. Anyway, back to the card. Important. What is important here is that you would do what you love, to start doing some creative acts of spending your time. This will help you to reconnect to something deeper. So your ancestors are saying, start creating. My goodness, my tongue is very twisted today. Explore your creative side. Grab that paint and whatever you use to paint. Grab crayons, whatever you do. Record that sound bath session. And use your gift, use your passion for something good. The second card is awaken your inner shaman. Connect, invoke, heal. And when I saw this card and the shaman, first thing which came to me was that shamans are healers. So here is the call to activate the healing abilities within ourselves. And perhaps this is also a call pointing out that there is a part of you which needs healing here. So connect with the element of fire to cleanse your energy, to help you to transmute whatever you're going through and whatever you are feeling. And also perhaps there is also a special message if you've been thinking about taking that path, embracing that path. This also is a sign for you to go there and go deeper with that. Interesting messages today are coming through.
Yeah. So I have pulled a card from the Lemurian Beyond Lemuria deck as well. Again, this one is called Our Ancient Future. So this is wisdom from indigenous and ancestral people holding the keys for the future. Ancient remembering, ancient bloodlines, and how the past affects the future. A time to step up, timeless power symbols, and activation for powerful shifts. This card is imbued with activations for a new paradigm. Let me see. Oh, here I am. You are now being showered with blessings in preparation for a transformation. It may be turbulent at times, like now, but you will grow and heal through the coming journey. Partake in activities that help you drop into a meditative state as often as possible. Use clearing tools to raise your vibration. And don't get up in the destination. So it's about the journey. Focus on the journey and experience. You can navigate a situation you have no experience with by being truly present. Integrity and intuition will be your guide. So the message from the ancestors and the progress into the future is where this card is all about. And then next topic, nature spirits, earth energy connections. And that's of course where where druidry kicks in, because the druid, it's especially the druid tradition is especially tradition where we connect the spirit of nature, where we connect the sounds of nature, the messages from nature, and bring them into our lives. We see that especially in how we celebrate the Wheel of the Year. Year after year after year, we celebrate cycles of birth, growth, harvest, and then deterioration and dying and rebirth. And that's a continuous cycle. And the earth energy is the cycle of the seasons. The earth energy is the cycle of the weather. The earth energy is the cycle of the winds rushing through the trees, the rains falling through the leaves or through the branches, the rains falling up on your roof. But it's also the destructive energy, the transformative energy of lightning and power, earthquakes. It's everything that the earth brings us. And sometimes the earth sends us a warning that we're not on the right path and that we're burning too much of the fossil reserves in our soil, and that we take too much from the land and the land deteriorates. And there's lessons there. There's lessons there to be learned for all of us.
I'm smiling because that's what I love Druids about, that they bring me a different perspective, because Druids are very connected with Mother Earth. When I was thinking about the nature spirits, my approach and the way what I wanted to share with you is more with a different energy, because to me Earth is herself is alive, and those are the subtle realm. I see nature spirits as fairies, elemental beings, and exactly, they do embody that raw energy of air, fire, and water, and the earth element. Soon I will be running a workshop where we will connect with all of those elements, which I'm looking forward to, because that's a beautiful way of remembering that we come from Mother Earth, because we're so disconnected from the nature as a species right now, as humanity, living in cities, being imprisoned in buildings, at work for still a big group of people. Then it's important to remember about those natural elements which are also within us but outside of us. So to me, Earth, and it's funny you said about tornadoes and earthquakes, because to me, Earth brings stability, like Earth spirits, for example, tree spirits. Those are beautiful guides from the nature spirits.
Yeah, of course, I totally agree with you. There's like in many of these aspects, there's too many to mention, and I was really drawn into this cyclical part where what that nature brings us, and the lessons we learn from there, the lessons that we need to rest, and sometimes we need to work, sometimes we need to sow, and sometimes we can harvest, sometimes we can give, and sometimes we can take. And that's of course a totally different aspect as the nature spirits that that you do, the good people, the fairies, the unicorns and the dragons. But that's a different story altogether.
Absolutely. And that's also another episode somewhere on the journey in this season. I definitely felt it when we started to talk about it, that I want to bring the entire episode of natural spirits, elements. Oh, I'm looking forward to that. But before we jump there, perhaps we could see what kind of messages unless you wanted to add something, Jan, to that.
No, I'm totally fine with you. Let's go for the messages. Yeah.
How can the natural world support me and ground me in this cycle? In other words, what shall I focus on in order to be more grounded, more present, more at the body, and what is needed? And in here, there will be just more than 2 cards, but let's focus on the first 2. First, here. This is an animal spirit deck. I'll show you the cover. This is the deck I'm using. It's absolutely beautiful. So pick a card. Cards number 1 and card number 2. Okay, number 1. Oh, wow. We have growth and renewal. And it's a snake. So if you picked this card, remember that life is not a straight line. Sometimes it gets tangled, it gets intertwined. And yet growth is all about moving to the front, moving higher, moving, perceiving and going. Also, not to mention that snake has a very symbolic meaning. It's connected with the energy of fire. Inner fire represents the Kundalini energy as well. Some special roses. I definitely know who chose this card. With all the symbols. It has Luna here as well. So it's a special confirmation here. Growth and renewal. This is, you're going through a natural process of upgrading, of changing, of shedding the skin, literally. So trust the process as you use Mother Earth and her elements to ground you. And in other words, hang on. This is the process of spiritual awakening you're going through. You're shedding the skin, and soon you'll experience a rebirth. And the second card today, it's also beautiful. And the medicine is to focus and to be clever about something, especially when you need to make a decision. And it's a fox. Fox are very clever animals, very clever beings. They know how to take a good care of themselves, and they use their senses, their brains, to find whatever they need. In some of the tarot cards, they appear as sneaky animals. I have a mixed feelings about them, but definitely the message here is to embrace the cleverness which is within you. Use your brain. You've got it for something. That's the message. And Claire, this is the part where you inspired me to bring this deck into the table, which talks about different aspects, different spiritual and animals as well. So we have 2 cards again. This one will be the first one. And the deck is actually in Polish, so I'll show you that maybe you will be able to see the spelling. It's pretty interesting. And it's a hunter. Hunter asks you to find your fears and desires, to just be like a hunter and be on a mission to find whatever is stopping you, aka fear, and whatever is what you want and what you desire, and just overcome the fear and go for it. Look at this guy. he knows exactly what he wants and what he's going for. Stags, the horns here, the Aries horns here, it signifies a masculine energy. So perhaps there is some action taking included. And if you're a lady, especially a single lady, this may be an extra sign for you that there is someone interesting around you. Something happened here because I see the black screen. I'm not sure what you can
You are frozen, Luna, so
see as well.
I hear you, but I can't see properly.
Interesting. Okay, you take over.
I'll take over.
Yes.
So I have pulled a card as well for the realm of the nature spirits, and for this one I brought the realm bridger. So the bridgers that brings architects of the future, visionaries that bring the seen with the unseen from other realms. So inspiration, seeding a new earth and traversing different states of consciousness. They're birthing ideas from subtle reality, subtle journeys. The divinatory meaning of this card is you are the pioneer of your life. The way forward may be in your dreams or visions. You might find it useful to do automatic writing or intuitive drawing to capture some of the more lucid information that nature holds for you. Be creative and don't take on the opinions of others. It's time to think and do things a whole other way. After all, as the saying goes, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. So let's see if you are moving again. No, I think you might want to reconnect, Luna. Yeah.
I am trying to fix this. So because there is another card. Okay, I can share the message. It says the goddess of the guardian of the air, the element of air. And the need is here to change perspective. And here, still black screen. This is interesting.
Yeah, you're still frozen for us. So we'll just move on. Then we'll get to your cards back soon, Luna. This is about the next topic, and we're talking about the master teachers, the highly evolved spiritual beings, the highly evolved beings that help us. Where do we see these the most? The master teachers. Of course, the people who have a spirit guide, who have an unseen spirit guide from another realm, they have these master teachers. We know them a lot from, you might know the people who channel. We had a lady called J.Z. Knight who channeled Ramta, Mary Robertson then channeled Seth, and there are many books written about the messages of Seth. Edgar Casey had connections in the Akashic field and the master teachers there. A very modern one, a very one that I like a lot, is Bashar. Bashar is an extraterrestrial that talks to a guy called Daryl Anka, and Bashar brings messages from another realm to the earth, and his message is within 2 years humanity will connect to spirits from other realms, or will even have direct extraterrestrial contact within 2 years. So that's very interesting. For 40 years, this guy has brought messages for humanity, for the earth, for himself. He grew himself there. And what I really found interesting about Bashar is that he has chosen a name, because in his own place he is not called Bashar. The same goes, for instance, for my teacher or my spirit guide, my daily spirit guide, the guide I always turn to when I have a question, is actually named Galadriel. We know Galadriel from The Lord of the Rings. and this is not her. It's not even a fictional character. It's an actual living being on Sirius. And she chose the name Galadriel because it would connect, it would resonate with me. If she would have spoken her true name as it is on her planet, I wouldn't recognize it. I could make no sense of it. She calls me Johannes, which is actually my legal name, the name that's in my passport. My legal name is Johannes. My mother gave me the daily name as Jan. So, but spirit guides usually do that. They have their own names for you. So, what do these highly evolved spiritual beings? What do they bring into our lives or into your life? They are really daily guides. They are basis for channels. I'm trying to open up myself for channeling Galadriel. It's not going completely yet, so it's a process we both have to learn. I have to learn to open up. Maybe that's the most important thing, and they have to learn to send me the message. So I can speak with their voice. I can speak their words. I can be the translator, the interpreter of her messages. So, these master teachers come in many guises. So they come from myths and legends as well. So there's a bit of an overlap with, for instance, the ancestral beings or natural beings, and they're highly evolved. I thought, Luna, that you are back again, but I still don't see you. Oh, there you are. There you are. Are you there? Not really. Okay. I don't hear you. Your mic is off. You're muted.
No, I'm trying to fix the problems. I had to take a different camera. I have no clue what's happening. Nothing
Okay, no worries.
today, but I think it's an energy of a day. Sorry if I was holding the microphone too close, but I was trying to fix the crisis here. And you were 5 seconds too early.
No problem.
Perhaps I'll straighten up my back. It's a
Yep.
totally different camera. It's amazing what's happening. Anyway, last but not least,
You're back.
I just finished the card. This is the guardian of the air who asks you to change your perspective. And this is where the camera came to be changed. And there is a different perspective. I'm using a different camera now from a different angle. So it is a different perspective you have literally. So it's funny how spirit guides work sometimes with the messages. So thank you for your patience if you chose card number 2. So it may be also a message there that be patient. That might be something on the way, but be patient, because with determination and with persistence and with when you keep showing up, eventually things will work out. Just like we had on this example with the camera.
Yes. So we were talking, Luna, about the master teachers. You haven't given your perspective on them yet. Is there something you want to contribute or want to add what I've said?
Would you mind to? I'll be honest, I wasn't listening what you were saying. I was trying to fix the crisis.
I was just talking about the ascended masters, the extraterrestrial masters, the masters from myth and legend, the big names. I was talking about my own spirit guide and my own connection with Galadriel. I was talking about the other ascended masters that are channeled by Ramta, Bashar, Seth, a disease, which Lee Harris channels. So I was talking about these creatures.
Okay, so perhaps I'll add something to that, because you mentioned.
I knew it.
To me, I'm surprised that you didn't name those who are, so perhaps that's why I'm here, and I'm going to talk about Jesus, Kuan Yin, Buddha, those archetypes, which are the ascended masters who walked on earth, and they were embodied as human beings here before. Those are the ones I connect often to. I work with all of them. I mentioned, obviously, there's plenty of more. Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene. I think that's another episode, so I'll put pause here. And those are the teachers, those who were here to show us the energy of high vibrational, the 5D, which we are heading to. I keep looking at the wrong camera. It's a good habit I have, but this is the camera. Anyway, they don't give us a power, but they help us to, they remind us and they help us to remember our own power within. So perhaps I could pull a message or two from that realm.
While you shuffle the cards, what happens here is why we are Luna and the Druid. And it's already, it's actually every time you bring something, I bring something, I bring something, you bring something, and though we both share a lot of ideas, we share a lot of perspectives, we share a lot of, especially the way we connect with each other, we still have our differences, and we complement each other so well, and that's what keeps us together, don't you think?
Yes. What also keeps us together is our beautiful audience and you guys sharing your own private stories. And Claire here says that it's amazing how all those synchronicities we mentioned here, and literally the situations like we have a card change perspective, and all of a sudden there is that turmoil, and then Luna comes back with a different perspective on things, and it's just amazing. It's
no work necessary.
absolutely you harmonize the polarities. That's a really good compliment. Thank you very much. So while you were talking, I pulled 3 cards in this case. I'll start with this one. If you pulled this card, Archangel Michael comes through. So the angel of, and the realms of angels actually has a message which says, trust in heavens. You are safe. Angels stand close. Surrender your concerns and allow a miracle to occur. I'll show you the card again with this beautiful halo from my lamp. Archangel Michael is the one please talk to and connect with. If you chose this card, number 2, then Isis comes through. The magic manifesting. And that could be another episode of Luna and the Druid, just to talk about Isis herself and what she does. That's actually not a bad idea. Anyway, your dreams, visions, and goals are becoming reality. Stay focused. This is also a message to tap into the energy of High Priestess, which is the inner wisdom. And that's for men too. We all have High Priestess within us. It's that wisdom, the intuition, the knowledge which comes from deep inside and connection from spirit guides rather than experience. That old ancient wisdom, magical wisdom, which is that thing we are sharing here with you. Not mention the sensuality which Isis brings, but perhaps I'll stop here because we have another card, number 3. Prayer and connection. Connect with heaven and ask and you shall receive. So the message here is just ask for what you want. Perhaps you're not using your spirit guides because they're there to help you, but you keep forgetting to ask them. And what's really important, when we work with those guides, angels specifically, they cannot do anything for us. We have to ask them to remove that problem, to help us with removing the obstacle, and then they can step in. So that's me.
Okay, and then I'm here. I have two cards for you. Card number one, you can pick, or card number two. Whoops. When you pick card number one, these are your unique gifts. All of us, every one of you, every single one of you brings something special to this earth. Every one of you is, in essence, is is a 5D person, is a highly evolved spiritual being. Every one of us is special. Every one of us has something to bring to this earth. You were born here with a reason, and one of these reasons is to to present to the world your unique gifts, to the thing you have and that nobody has, or that hardly anyone has, and that's where you can bring the change into the world. And the change can be to a single person, to a child, to an animal, to a small piece of land, where you can make the change. And that's your unique gifts. The next card, you picked card number two. It's the infinity. It's the infinite space that surrounds us, but as we can observe it, we can see it with our eyes, we can hear it with our ears. When we close our eyes, we can connect to this, the fact that we are infinite. We have always been, and we will always be. We are infinite beings. We are souls that for now, for 60, 80, 100, 110 years, reside in a vessel here on earth, but we are going home afterwards with new lessons and new experiences. And the earth is here for this little experience. Otherwise, we would only experience the infinite all the time and always be stuck in time without time. And so the 3D world is our connection to the infinite, is our place where we can manifest and become something real, where we can play and learn. And after that, we go back. We go back home to eternity.
There is another extra level of spirit guides, which are the animals. However, we made an entire episode on that, so we will put it in the description box so you can explore that realm of animals. I just want to mention them today briefly. And
It's,
this
it's
is where
also,
we're going to park today.
yep, that's what it is today, and that's the promise for next week when
Yes.
we dive deeper into this topic.
So just to summarize, spiritual guides, celestial, ancestral, natural animals, ascended masters, they share a common mission to help. I keep forgetting about the camera I'm supposed to be looking at. To help remember who you are at the soul level, to guide you through your soul's contracts, through your adventures of life with greater grace. And to offer companionship, sometimes wisdom. My dear, beautiful friend Anna, when every time she goes out in the nature, even though she goes by herself, she's always surrounded by loads of animals, creatures, beings, and she's always amazed at. And I hope she doesn't mind me sharing that here. But that's the thing: we're never alone, and we're never only by ourselves, because there is plenty and there is more than the eyes can see. So they don't want to be worshipped, they want to collaborate. They're more like mentors, family, and friends on the invisible plane. And perhaps you're wondering how to connect with them, and that is what we will cover next week. So if we invite you for a next week of Luna and the Druid, we'll see what kind of technical issues I will have. So stay tuned. There was an elevator stuck. So it's very interesting what's happening in the Luna and the Druid recently.
Yeah. So thank you all for sharing the space with us. We really enjoyed it. Thank you, Luna, for your wisdom. And we're looking forward to seeing you next week.
Bye, guys.